That I'm going to take you through a talk that I usually do called Goal Achievement, so it can tie everything together with you. So what I put up on the board was the 6 key parts of the system, accomplishments, current, then we go to midterm, long-term, dream, and affirmation. So that's kind of the flow in the system that we put together. As you read in the book, we talked about having you focus on this and work on this 15 minutes a day. And what I like to do is that I usually get up at least 2 hours before I need to be at the office. So if I have an 8 o'clock meeting, I am up no later than 6. If in the event I have an 8:30 meeting, then I might stay to 6:30. I changed my workout routine. I used to get up at 5, go work out, and come back. So if I do my workout in the morning, then I'll wake up at 5, be at the gym at 5:20, then I'm back home at 6. If not, then I'll not get up at 5, get up at 6 or 6:30, and then I'll go to the gym that night. So I work one way or the other to get my workout in. But the reason why I get up so early is that the first 15 to 20 minutes, depending on where I am, I do my Bible study, and I have 3 different books that I go through. I don't actually use a Bible per se. I have one called a Leadership Bible, and I've read that over the years. It's every day, and for 52 weeks it lays it out for you, and so it ties into the Old and New Testament. And then I also read a shorter version, which is a daily devotion, and then I have another one that I read that's also daily, but it gets into more practical things from a business, from a work environment. Then after that, I usually have my prayer list, and then after I finish that, then I have coffee, and then I start my get ready process or whatever. So that's kind of what I do in relationship to. So once I've got my cup of coffee, then I'm into my goal setting. And I try and spend at least 15 minutes into that. So what I want to do is not so much take you through the book, because you've already read the book. What I wanted to do is take and visit with you in relationship to this, and maybe fine tune it a little bit with you and for you. And on the accomplishments, the reason why we put this first is because this is your motivation factor. Okay, and what I want you to do is, if you haven't done this, I want you, if you get a note from me saying great job, or you're a team player of the month, and I send a thing congratulating you, etc., that needs to be in your book. Okay, and so if you get something from C, or you get something from anybody, what I want you to do is, hey, see, if you get some from anybody else within the company, then I want you to have that. That's what you look at. I want you to read that every day, because that's really how you start your day. That really gets you a positive move, and gets you in a positive or I call it a positive mentality. So anytime you get anything congratulatory from anybody, inside, out the company, I want you to have that down. You might get something from one of our business partners because you helped them do something. Or you might get something from a business partner because you directed them into the right area to get a question answered. So it's very, very important on your accomplishments. You start with that first every day, and that's why we put that up there, because you never can get enough of that. Many people look for the reasons why you're not doing things right, and they tell you, opposed to look for the reasons when you're doing things right, and then tell you. So we have natural born critics in the world, so you don't have to be a critic on yourself. Okay, so you let other people criticize you, but you take it into your role, and I'll do something with you on identity role later on to help you deal with this. So very, very important on your accomplishments. Start with that. What you want to do is that you want to make sure that you look at the things you've done over the course of your lifetime. So it doesn't matter if that is that thick, you keep that there. Next thing on the current goals, I really want to share with you my philosophy on current goals is it's got to be less than 6 months. Less than 6 months. It's attainable. It's within a short period of time. So current goals have to be 6 months or less. And I think if you can keep that in that perspective, then that's something that you look at every day, and it's motivational to you, because you can say it's right around the corner. I'm almost there. You can almost feel it. You can sense it. So current goals, 6 months or less, and you need to look at these every day. Now we have in there, and you probably saw in the chapter, and I don't know if you looked it up, but we had a thing in there called RAS, and it's actually Rectangular Activity System is what it is. From the area of your brain. Let me share with you what that really is. That deals with focus, awareness, and action. Those are the three things that part of your brain deals with, okay? And that's why we got that in this area, because it's current. You got to be zeroed in. You got to be focused on that. So in the current goals, just make sure that you have that at 6 months or less. Midterm goals, what we call medium goals, are 6 months to 2 years. 6 months to 2 years. Now, that's a little bit longer. Now you're saying, well, I've got those in there, but really I'm focusing on my current goals. But while you're focusing on your current goals, you can still be focusing on your midterm goals. You're going to find out that sometimes a midterm goal might be reached before a current goal is reached, because it just falls in place and things happen. So what you want to do is make sure you're looking at your entire goal system every day. And we're only talking about 15 or 20 minutes. And I always recommend you get up 15 or 20 minutes earlier, because nobody bothers you. You want to get that done before you get into the office. Because if in the event you have yourself in a positive aura, in a positive environment, you're strolled into the office, you're really ready to conquer the world. Now, if you run into a negative, then it just bounces off your shoulders, you go on. So what you want to do is, if you come in, you're coming in to where you're always in front of everybody else. And the way you're in front of everybody else is, you know what you're working for that day. So from midterm goals, you're going to go to long term. Long-term goals are 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 years. Much longer. Now you might say, well, long-term goals, and I don't really have to look at them or worry about those. Well, you do. Because long-term goals can motivate you also. Just like current goals can. And then your dream goals are 5 years or beyond. 5 years beyond. And those are things that you're going to put in that you might look at, and then later on you say, why did I put that one in there? See, in other words, you might want to say you want to travel, and you say, okay, I want to take a trip to Mahia. Now, none of you want to do that, but I'm just saying, that wouldn't stay in there very long. But you might want to take a trip to San Antonio, or maybe to Florida, or maybe to the Cayman Islands, or maybe to Las Vegas. Then once you thought about that, once you realize that, you might substitute that with something else based off of input from somebody else, or you might have seen something on TV. So your dream goals are out beyond 5 years and longer. Now, as you look at all 4 of these goals categories, and you look at them each day, you're going to focus here, but you're going to also look here. And when you do this, I'm going to give you a key word that is a must in order for this to become part of your life. You got to visualize. You have to visualize those goals. Before you can ever accomplish anything in your life, it must be accomplished in your mind first. Until you mentally can see it and feel it and taste it and believe it, you're not going to accomplish it. That's not motivational to you. Okay, so you want to look at all of these on a daily basis, and after you've gone through and looked at those and finished off over here on the affirmation side, then you want to go back one more time on your current goals. That's what you leave with. That's how you close the chapter to today. Now here's something very, very important that you saw in the book that I want to emphasize, and that is, once you accomplish a goal in your current goal category, draw a line through it. Okay, you never want to retype your list or redo your list. Stay with the current list, keep adding to it. Now, once you look at your current goals, and let's say you have 10 current goals in there you're working on, and you scratched off 3 of them. Now, when you look at your current goals, that's pretty motivational, isn't it? You got 3 out of 10 already done. Well, if you look at that and compare it to a baseball player, to a hitter, 3 out of 10 times you consider a person to be above average ball player. That meant they got 3 hits out of 10 times. They didn't hit 7 times. Well, it's the same thing from a goal setting standpoint. So you got to make this fun. Don't make this a job. Make this really kind of your own little thing. And this is where you have an opportunity to have some interaction with yourself, and you can have positive statements and say positive things about yourself. So don't retype your list. Scratch off your goal. Scratch through your goal so you can still see it. Now, were we talking about that? I said earlier you might have a dream goal that might go away. Here's what I want you to do. Do not change your list. Do not retype your list. Once you got it done, what I want you to do is, if you find out that a goal is not motivational to you, you have to eliminate it. If the goal does not motivate you, doesn't inspire you, doesn't drive you to really want to achieve it, you're not going to get it. So take it off your list. Draw a line through it, and I recommend you draw the line through in red. And then you put right next to it, drop. Draw a red line through it, put drop. Now let me share with you why I say a red line. A red line to me is like a stop sign. You physically stop. All of them are done in red. Okay, so what you want to do is that you want to review that, because you might have drawn a line through it. You said, drop, this doesn't motivate me. Well, first you're going to look inside yourself and say, why did I even have it on my dream list? Why did I even have it on my long-term goals list? Because you could have moved it from here over to here and worked your way up here. That's why you got to look at these goals every day, and as you do that, you visualize it to see if in the event it still is motivational to you. You know, the trip I mentioned in my head doesn't turn any of you guys on. But I tell you what, a trip maybe to Las Vegas or to Seattle, Washington, or to Florida or something probably would be motivational to you. And as you move along and start accomplishing these goals, then guess what you're going to have happen? They become larger and larger. See, here's what I look at with people in relationship to the financial side of it. The more you make, the bigger play toys you get. That's the only difference. The only difference between making $40,000 to $400,000 is you get bigger play toys with $400,000 you do with $40,000. That's it. And then you can also do a lot of other things. You know, you can share it. See, and to me, I think that's why we're here is that if you got the ability to make money and you got the ability to really move within inside a corporation, what you want to do is you have to learn in your lifetime that you got to be able to share that, because that's a gift. Not everybody has the ability to make money in their life. If everybody had the ability, then we wouldn't have people down underneath the bridge, would we? Now, we understand they got some mental issues, etc., but they, in their mind, have given up on their ability to make money. But I'll tell you what's exciting is that, you know, Joan goes down, you know, multiple times, and she'll take down 2 or 3 boxes of donuts and drop them off. Or take down a couple dozen sandwiches and drop them off. Well, what you want to do is that's a sharing side of being able to generate money. Because what you can do is it's exciting to you when you can have on your accomplished list to see what you've been able to do from a sharing standpoint. So this goes beyond you when you talk in terms of a goals program. Okay, we talked about goals becoming stagnant, so I want to make sure I really emphasize that with you and how you scratched through it and how you wrote that off. Let me jump over here a little bit to the back end to affirmations. And I'll go into more detail with you later on. But to me, affirmations are crucial in the whole system and the whole goals program for you guys. You have to remind yourself, and you have to visualize your current situation and your long-term situation every day. Okay, and by using affirmations, that's what we call a jump start to making this thing happen. And we didn't go in great detail in the book on this, but I'm going to get into more detail with you because I think affirmation, visualization are the key to goal setting. I think it's the key to the whole system we have here. Now, in the book you read, so I want to remind you, and I want to get your commitment from this, on this, and that is, in order to make something become a habit in your life, it takes how long? 21 days. Okay, so what I want you to do is, I want you, as a payback to me for me sharing with you what we're doing today, is that you're going to commit to give us 21 days before you give up on the system. So I'm going to ask you to do that. You don't have to verbally commit in front of everyone else, but I want you to give me the 21 days. One thing I'll guarantee you, we go through this, we're going to get your self-confidence at a much higher level than what it is. And self-confidence is the foundation of leadership charisma. It is the foundation. So what we got to do is we use the system on a day in, day out basis, and as we move through step 2 in the leadership charisma model, what we're going to find out is it's going to move you towards step 3, which is the development of your personal charisma. At the same time, we're going to create that charismatic leader persona which is a fourth one. So, are there any questions that you have on the 6 steps in the system? You've gone through it, you read through it, you probably highlighted it in your book. Based on what I'm sharing with you, are we getting a closer feel for what it really means from an internal standpoint? Okay, any questions? And it's okay if you just stop me as we roll through this. I have a tendency to talk very, very fast, talk with my hands, and so the challenge is, can you write, take notes, and listen all at the same time? And we know it's impossible to do, right? So anyway, that's why we're videoing it, because what I'm going to do when I finish, I'm going to make sure a copy, and you got that. Yes?
I do have a question, and I think it mentioned something in the book, but I can't remember if it went into depth or not, about business goals versus personal goals.
Yep.
Should they be on separate lists but in the same place in the binder that it suggests?
Well, they should be at least on separate pages.
Okay.
Okay, and you don't want to mix those two. Because what you do in business can drive your personal goals, but your personal goals can drive your business goals. As long as you have separate pages, you head them up. Current business goals, dream goals, business-wise, or business dream goals, you're okay. And keep those pages separate. Just don't put them on the same pages. It's just like we say with our business partners, you get in business with us, you need to have a personal bank account, and you need to have a business bank account. Don't mix the two monies. Because if you do, then you forget why you're in business. Yeah, and you should have business goals. And that is where you want to go with inside the organization. We really try and pride ourselves that we move people up and beyond and around, and you've seen that all through outside the company. I always say an 800-pound gorilla sleeps where they put their head. Well, a successful person, that's the 800-pound gorilla. They overfill their spot. They make themselves more useful, more valuable. And as a result of doing that, then management looks and should be aware of it. It's okay for you to remind them, saying, hey, you have your meeting, because we get going 90 miles an hour, and sometimes a day becomes a week becomes a month, and a month's a year, and here we go into next year. So we understand that. Okay, let me jump into how you achieve goals. Let me share with you, I think, some basic information to help you understand how to be a goal achiever. You must understand that success in this business is not only setting goals, but it's achieving the goals. So let me make sure we understand what a goal is. Bud Haney's definition of a goal is very simple. It is a dream with a target date attached to it. That's all it is. A goal is a dream that you have, and you've attached a target date to reach it. So a goal is a dream. It's an objective in your life, and you have a time frame or a target date attached to it. That's how simple it is. Okay, that being said, then you have to understand that many, many people set goals all around this world, but not everybody reaches them, which is an interesting statement. See, it doesn't matter where you set them, how you set them, or when you set them. You only get paid when you reach them. I mean, look at the Olympics. Think about the Olympics. Think about all the athletes all around this world. And they train for 3.5 to almost 4 years to try and make the Olympic team for their country, in whatever sport it is. And many of them don't make it. Now, many of them go back and set it to do it the next year. But they might not ever get there. But at least it's the striving towards. It's not necessarily the attainment of. So as you look at these athletes, now they train and they train, now they make their country's Olympic team. And then they go out and now they compete against all the other countries. And you know what? At the Olympics, they only give 3 medals out, right? The gold, silver, and the bronze. That's only 3. And I bet if I asked you in different sports, and you really understood sports, I bet you would only know whoever got the gold medal in the last Olympics. Because we'll always remember what? Who came in first. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean they're the best. They just happen to be the best at that time. So when you set goals, remember, they only pay off when you reach them. So you can lay all this out, you can have it beautiful and all colors all over, and it can be very, very graphic. And if you don't open the book and work on it, guess what? You don't get paid off. You don't get a payoff. So when you set goals, they only pay them off when you reach them. So I'm going to share with you how I have in my life worked to achieve goals. I think there are 4 key ingredients that we have to have, that we got to work on, that we have to internalize in order for us to be able to achieve our goals. So let me give them to you first, and I'll come back and dissect them for you. The first one is you have to commit to your goals. You must make a commitment to your goals. So once you set them, and whatever area you set them, current all the way to dream, you've got to ask yourself, is this worth the price? Is this worth the price for me to pay to reach this goal? If you can't say yes, it's not a valid goal for you. The next thing is, you got to pay the price. So you got to commit to the goal, then you got to pay the price to reach the goal. See, many people set goals, but they don't pay the price to reach it. Number 3, you must track and measure your progress towards your goals. Track and measure your progress towards your goals. So 1, commitment to the goals. 2, pay the price to reach your goal. Number 3, track and measure your progress towards your goals. And number 4, reinforce your goals with affirmations and visualization. Reinforce your goals with affirmations and visualizations. Okay. Commitment to your goals, pay the price to reach your goals, track and measure your progress. And number 4, reinforce your goals with affirmations and visualization. Okay, number 1, commitment to your goals. I want you to make a decision that you only commit to a goal that has a big enough payoff. Only commit to a goal that has a big enough payoff. I call those life's higher goals. You know, reach for the stars, shoot for the moon, become goal-directed, God-guided, mission-motivated. You got to get excited about your goals. It's got to cause you to strive, to stretch, to train, and strain, and to grow. That's how you get committed to your goals. That's how you committed to your goals. Now, when you're committed to your goals, let me share something with you. Commitment to your goals will overcome most obstacles in your life as well as your business. Commitment to your goals will overcome most obstacles in your life and your business. See, obstacles are really what you see when you take your eyes off your goals. Obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off the goal. Now you might say, why do people have trouble staying committed to their goals? If they're motivational to them, if they're important to them, why do they have trouble staying committed to it? Well, most people resist commitment. Most people resist commitment. See, commitment's a pretty strong word. Some people even see it almost like a dirty word. Something's got to happen if you make a commitment. See, the first step to your success is commitment. To reach goals, you got to be committed to reach them. You have to live up to your commitment. I think we're kind of like on escalators in our life. And we're constantly on the move. We're going up or we're going down. Same thing with goal setting. You're either taking 1 step closer or you're backing away 2 steps. Because we're not status quo. So number 1, very crucial, you must in turn stay committed to your goals. Second, you have to pay the price to reach your goals. You got to pay the price to reach your goals. And I think this is paramount for you guys. I think there are 3 steps that you must have and build on them in order to help you pay the price to reach your goals. First step is desire. Desire. Second is belief. So desire is 1, belief is 2, and number 3 is action. Desire, belief, and action. So you have to set the step, establish the step, and then build on it. Desire, belief, and action. See, to me, desire has got to be the strongest human emotion known to mankind. To me, desire is something created within a heart and a soul and a fiber of every one of us, you and I as individuals. Now, as you keep that in mind, and you think through that, what I'm really saying to you is, desire is more than wanting and wishing. A lot of people wish to be successful. A lot of people wish to have things. But see, to me, desire is an overwhelming demand from you for change. And what are you going to change? The status quo. That's how it's always been done. See, I think that's part of the reason why you sit in this room. I think that's part of the reason why you joined Profiles International. If you don't like change, this is the wrong place to be. We change. We don't change every day. We change about an hour. See, I think the people who lack desire are always too busy to do what needs to be done. Does that make sense? People that lack desire are always too busy to do what that needs to get done. Number 2, belief. I think a person must believe that their efforts, when successful, will be rewarded. See, many individuals, I think, have goals, they have objectives, they see ways of achieving them, but they lack the faith, they lack the belief that their efforts, once they're done, will be rewarded. See, it happens all the time. It happened to us when we were kids. Yeah. How many times have you heard? I used to hear this all the time. My life I was growing up. I grew up on, I call it the other side of the tracks, you know, where people didn't have anything. And I'd always hear that if I did this, that, and the other, then I'd be able to get a bicycle for Christmas. Well, I did that, but I never got one. So guess what I did? I quit asking for it. Because, see, I thought maybe I wasn't delivering what I was supposed to deliver as a child. I didn't realize, I didn't think about it. It just that my mother and dad didn't have enough money to afford a bicycle. You know, so, but see, it's all in the eyes of the beholder. It's inside of you and I. So when you look at this, you've got to believe that your actions are going to be rewarded based on your activity. Number 3, actions. Action. You've got to be an action-oriented person to be truly successful in this world. Action-oriented. You know, you're around them all the time. You know, we're all very active. We're very action-oriented, all of us in this room. Well, I want you to know the difference between a winner and a non-winner in life is simply action. The difference between a winner and a non-winner in life is simply action. Success in life is not possible without action. I'm going to say this real slow, so I'll make sure you get this one here. I believe that a winner in life isn't nearly afraid of losing as a non-winner or a loser in life is secretly afraid of winning. That make sense? Mm-hmm. Do you realize some people fear success? Some people are afraid of success? You've been around a lot of people that take shots at successful people. And they give them all kind of reasons why they got it, they don't have it. But it doesn't matter, you know, it's been proven in a communist society you can take everything away from the wealthy, from the people that are generating the revenue, and put it in a pot and start everybody off even again, and guess what? The successful are going to have it, the above average people are going to have it, and the ones that don't have it, they're still not going to have it. That's society. Because some people believe that they are not worthy of success. Okay, so the 3 key steps you have to have: desire, belief, and action. And it's very important for you to get this. You cannot skip any of them. You got to do 1 to get to 2 in order to have 3. So you can't just start with action. You know, I see all of us as human beings. I see us as like a stick of dynamite, all rolled together. It's powerful. And what we got to do is we got to think like we're dynamite, but I want you to keep those 3 letters in your mind. TNT, because that's really what dynamite is. See, my philosophy is TNT means today, not tomorrow. Today, not tomorrow. See, we put off so many things saying, I'll get to it tomorrow. Happens all the time around all kind of people that you deal with in business, outside of business, on the weekends, in the evenings. I'll get to it tomorrow. It's easy to procrastinate. That's why they have a procrastination club. And you know what they procrastinate about? When their next meeting's going to be, right? I mean, that's what procrastinators do. See, when you decide not to decide, guess what you've done? You made a decision to do nothing. See, procrastination is the greatest enemy of goal setting and goal achievement. It's the enemy of it. Procrastinators don't want people to achieve anything. Okay, number 3, track and measure your progress to your goals. Number 3, track and measure your progress to your goals. So in the chapter in the Leadership Charisma book, it said in there, make sure you have a binder, you get everything in there, you get tabs, and you got it where you're working in it. You got to review it every day. See, tracking is not a glamorous thing to do. It's not the thing that you dream about when you're sleeping. You get excited about. But I want you to know it's the thing that separates winners from non-winners. It separates successful people from unsuccessful people. See, here's why tracking is so important. It gives you periodic feedback on how you're progressing. Tracking gives you periodic feedback on how you're progressing. Staying on your track eliminates the mental ups and downs that we have in life. Number 4, reinforce your goals with affirmations and visualization. Even though we had here in the book, we put affirmations, I believe very strongly if I had to do it over again, I'd have put visualization right there. We talked a lot about it in relationship to visualize your goals, visualize your accomplishment. You know, so that's why we kind of held off. But it's so important for you to be right there, visualization. Those two things, heart and soul, and goal setting. Let me make sure you understand what affirmations really are. Affirmations are really your goal, stated in a positive statement. Okay, you can't say, someday I wish I would. See, that's a negative statement. So, what you got to say is, when I reach my goal of, by such and such a day, that's saying in a positive way. An affirmation is the act of expressing your belief in the truth of your statement or your goal. Now, affirmation has been given many, many names. They call it auto-talk, self-talk, self-description. And any of those, and all those really, I think, mean the same thing. See, what you say to yourself makes an imprint on your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind controls your mind. And I think you're all aware of that. So what you say makes an imprint on your subconscious mind controls your conscious mind. So positive affirmations are crucial to your success. Positive affirmations validate your goals. Positive affirmations validate your goals. They substantiate your goals. Listen to this statement here. This will really, I think, make the impact on you. Affirmations help you remember in your bad moments what you know to be right in your good moments. Make sense? Affirmations help you remember in your bad moments when things aren't going well for you. Affirmations reinforce how important those goals are, so when those good moments come, it substantiates it. Now, you're going to probably say that I'm a little bit egotistical, but you know, here's how I look at affirmations. No one knows you and likes you any better than you know yourself. So you got to have strong positive affirmations. You know, one of my affirmations is, I make things happen. Another affirmation I say is, I like myself very much. See, I might go through the whole day, nobody ever told me that, but I skip to tell myself first. So at least I heard it once. Now, what they say is, if you hear it 6 times, that's repetitive, you're going to believe it. I also, one of my big affirmations, I'm a self-starter. I'm a self-starter. Now, this is one that only I believe, and I've said it so many times that I believe it, but most people probably still doubt it. Okay, and this affirmation goes something like this. People love to be around me because they gain something by us being together. Now, why I say that to myself is in order to make me feel comfortable being around people that I don't know. Because on our PXT, on my sociability scale, I'm only a 4. Okay, not a 10. Now, my partner Sebastian was a 10. But the difference between Jim and myself, when we went to a party where there'd be loads of people, Jim would like to see how many people he could get around him so he could talk to them all. And he'd make conversation. See, I'd rather be over with maybe talking to 2 or 3 people. Jim would rather go out to dinner with 8 or 10 couples. I'd rather go out with 1 or 2 couples. See what I'm saying? That's the difference. Doesn't make him bad, me good, or his, me bad and him good. That's just who I am. And partly because, we had our attitudes and habits formed when we were by the age of 6. Well, by the age of 6, I was still on this other side of the other tracks. You know, my dad had 8th grade education, was a blue-collar worker, worked with his hands. My mom did finish high school. I was the only one in our family, 3 generations, ever graduated from college. I'm probably only one of about 3 that even went to college, you know, because that was the mindset of our family. So my mindset, by the time I was 6, when my attitudes were somewhat formed, you know, had somewhat of a regressed belief in themselves, you know, and the only thing that probably helped get me out of that is that I was blessed because I had the gift of being able to be an athlete and play baseball. So that forced you to where you had to get out of your own internal shell, so to speak. So develop some affirmations, and you don't have to share them with anybody else, but they got to be beneficial to you. So I like to take some of my goals and write positive statements about them, and that becomes my affirmation. Visualization, I call the visualization a dream machine. It's the ability to picture mentally events and objects. That's what visualization is. It's the ability to picture through your mind events and objects. See, the ability to visualize, and this is very, very crucial for you, has been identified by leading psychologists around the world, that people who have the ability to visualize possess, and they become very high achievers and tremendously successful business people around the world. See, visualization turns fuzzy dreams into active plans for achievement. I think the difference between a visualizer and a daydreamer is going to dream, but they never tend to do anything about the dream. A visualizer sees things as they can become, not as they are. As they like to have them, not as they are at this present time. See, I believe before you can ever accomplish anything physically, tangibly in your life, it's got to be accomplished up here first. You got to give yourself permission to have something in life. Doesn't matter what it is, big, small, and different. I think you have to mentally picture achieving your goals. Whatever you have in those 4 columns up there. Okay, so one more time. You have to commit to your goals. It can't be a halfway commitment. It's got to be a full-time commitment. You got to pay the price to reach them. You got to track them. You got to work in the planner. It takes time. You got to find 15, 20 minutes a day to do that. And then you also have to be able to develop affirmations around your goals and be able to visualize them in relationship to how you want them to become. See, I believe that many, many people believe that success requires an investment and failure doesn't. But I want you to know that it requires an investment from both. I think there's a price for failure, and I think there's a price for success. Not just one or the other, but both. Now, here's how I look at this. I think the price for success is paid in one lump sum. And I think the price for failure is paid more like on the installment plan. Okay, ongoing basis. I'm a visualizer, so let me take it this way with you. I got 2 $20 bills. The price for success paid in one lump sum. Price for failure paid on an installment basis. I really didn't want to have that home that I loved to have. I really didn't get the car that I wanted to have. I really didn't send the kids to the school they wanted to go. I really didn't. And here's the tragic thing. When you pay the price for failure on the installment plan, gone forever. You pay the price for success, one lump sum, and you get a gift for the lifetime. I want to challenge you when you walk across the street, across that parking lot. I want to challenge you to a rededication to this business, but more importantly, rededication to yourself. I want you to pay the price, whatever price you got to pay, whatever it costs you to pay that price. I challenge you to pay the price. I challenge you to become a goal achiever. Thanks, guys.
Hey, bud, I have a question.
Sure.
Normally, we would want all of our goals to go from dreams to long-term to medium.